What I actually used to trade that was our average trade was 10 lots.
and I put in the TP at the 1500 pips, right? So
Oh my god.
yeah. So once I saw it turn into disaster, I mean, it was the first two losses were massive. So I was just like, oh, I need to kind of understand the characteristics of the way UK moves, which is to me a little
Usually,
bit different.
yeah, usually the reason that our it's at 200, if you look back, usually UK doesn't move more than 600 pips in a day.
I noticed that, yeah. Once I
So,
realized that, I'm
you
like,
know,
oh, these guys are doing 2060 or 200 600, you know. So if
and the reason being is because yeah, we hope to get that,
yeah,
but you got to have a realistic. If it only moves 600 in a day, which right now with the election and with everything going crazy, fucking nuts right now,
right.
it's all over the place. It is literally all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. The last 3 4 days, I definitely the drawdown was like heart attack, you know, kind of. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, it's gonna hit. Same thing with US 30. I think I've talked about this, Sean. Remember, I ran I ran one of my accounts where it was like $8,000 drawdown, and I'm like,
You
I'm
get some
just
pretty crazy drawdown, bro. I remember
yeah.
some accounts you've shown me. It's been
Yeah, and then it finally hit. It actually reversed because just kind of playing with that theory we had that if you jump in in certain moments, they will hit. Like but that that being said, you also have to recognize that if it's past the threshold where you definitely need to just bail. Like if I was at 8,000 and it looked like it was going to get to 14, you're not recovering from it. Like you're that's it.
it's not happening. Yeah, exactly.
It's past it. If you're in like a 15 lot, but yeah, with the scalping, I've incorporated MACD to K2.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I used to use that before too. It's good with identifying like divergence and stuff. Like when it swaps over to the next the trend reversal and stuff like that.
Well, if like I'll show you how I'm hitting every single time. Actually, the moment's perfect right now. If you guys want to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you add MACD to that chart that you have right now?
Yeah, definitely for the EJ right here.
Yeah. Well, let's go to US 30.
All right, let's go to US 30 real quick.
Yeah, I'll just do it live.
Cool. Do you want to do it on yours or you want me to do it on mine? It's fine.
Do it on yours. That way I can show you, and then maybe you'll recognize it and pick it up from there.
Perfect. So should we do it on the 10-minute?
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, I'll show you. So okay. So spread. Open up MACD a little bit more. Get that sucker to be a little bit bigger, so you could kind of see it a little bit more, like the bars. All right. Okay, so I can tell you right now you're on the 10-minute, right? So it is, we definitely know that the next indicator is going to be green. And if you look at the MACD on the bottom, you see how it's a lighter pink?
Yeah, it's like shifting to an uptrend.
Yeah, it's shifting to an uptrend. Now go to the 1 minute.
Gotcha.
All right. So right now it's struggling to go to the uptrend. See how the green keeps coming in? Once that completes, I jump in.
So as soon as the green, like the signal completes, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, like this right here. So it's pending.
Yep. And that's my scalp, right?
Gotcha. So yeah, so it'll close green and then you'll enter a long position right there, right?
Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll go to the 5 minute. Like I'll look at the 3 and the 5 minute to confirm.
Oh, that's moving up, right?
Yeah. You see how it's definitely moving up. Then I'll just sit there until it moves up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
So
definitely.
that's how you guys are seeing my scalps.
And then how what's your stop loss TP for it normally?
So here's the kicker. Ready for this? So I will run it off of the 75 or the 1500, right? And just like Mark said, you got to be realistic that it's not going to go there. So what will happen is it's a journey. Like once you're in it, you'll see it kind of go up and down, up and down, up and down. And once it moves into the threshold, it will usually, once I hit $230 in profit, I'll move my stop loss in profit.
Gotcha. Okay.
And, yeah, and if the momentum keeps moving up, and it really looks strong to 75, like it's going to move to the 75 or the 1500, leave it alone. Just take the just ride it up and just keep moving up the stop loss. So
the 75 is so wide though.
It is, yeah. No. This is scalping though, right? So
you'd have been on here and then you'll basically be trailing it as it goes up, right?
Yes, I just ride the trail. Like that's all I do because here's the thing is that if it decides to reverse on you really quick and you come out of profit, like you've seen my charts on my returns.
Yeah.
I come out of profit, and then I watch where that candle completes itself, right? So if see how it's going up right now, and it's going to keep going up, then you know, if it forms into, so we know for a fact that, let's say you go to the 5 minute right now, right? And then you look at the 10, yeah. So, and then look at the 10 minute. So I hop around like that, and you could see that the 10 minute is just starting to. So the possibility on the 5 minute is that if it complete on the MACD a full upward candle, right? Then you stay. You see what I mean?
Doing, yeah. This is
so I'm
active. It's kind of like a top-down analysis. Like you identify it on the 10, like you're looking at the MACD here, and then you're catching it like when it first starts. So right here we have the buy signal, it closes. It's going to follow up with the 5 minute. We'll look at the buy signal on there. And then on top of that, it'll follow up with the buy signal on the 10 minutes. So you're basically catching the momentum before it even begins.
Yes, correct. And then I'll just ride it. Like right now, I would have gotten out of it because I'm unsure like what's going on the 1 minute, right? The 1 minute right now is developing a sell candle, and it's a spike down. See that?
Yeah.
That's where you don't want to be. It would have stopped me out in profit anyways, because we were already in profit.
Definitely. No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And then I would just turn it around if the momentum looks like it's moving strong in a sell, then I do exactly immediately the same thing into a sell position.
Gotcha. So you have to be really involved in this trade.
Yeah,
very, very involved. 100%.
Yeah, I'm extremely involved. Yeah.
You take your eye off it and look where it is. Deep drawdown.
That's it. You're done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. but you can actually even confirm by going to the 10 minute. Like for instance, like I'm East Coast, so you know our first call is after what, like the 9 o'clock, right, or the 9:30, which is your 6 or 6:30, Shawn.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll go, if I trade before that call, I'll be fully aware of where I am in the 10 minute, meaning that I need to get out. Otherwise I'll be trapped, right?
Yeah.
So if let's say it's a sell right now, you know, but you know the next call at the on the 10 minute of the first of the US 30 in the morning is going to be a buy, then you've got to be aware of that, you know, like why are you entering when that's happening? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, definitely. Yeah, I think this is a bad time for us to look at it anyways, because it's in swap spread right now and so forth. So it's actually a horrible time for us to be analyzing this because it's not even really moving.
Yeah.
Go back and forth for the most part.
But
this is the same sort of thing Alec was talking about that he does for UK 100 when it opens in the morning. He literally checks the 1 minute to see what the last the signal was on the indicator, And as soon as London opens, he enters that trade for that signal, whether it's 5 minutes before or 1 minute before. He enters that literally 5 seconds before London opens on that signal.
Yeah, I also use the pivots also for my consciousness as well. Like on the 10-minute, right now on the 10-minute, it's definitely forming a, it's passing through, right? It's passed through all of them. So it's a sell position. So even though we entered initially in the beginning of this example for a buy, and you get stopped out, you don't feel bad because you're like, oh, I'll just go into a sell.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, definitely. I see what you mean right there with that. Like you can always like reverse it if you wanted to switch positions.
Yeah, that's why you saw my results. Like, it's like profit and buy and profit and sell,
Yeah, definitely. No, 100%. One thing that I usually do too sometimes is I'll use a new strategy that I'm working on, the one where, it closes above or below the previous signal, and I'll use it with the pivots as well. And it works very well. What I started noticing, like for example here, where, it's above the pivot, you see the buy signal above the sell signal right here. And then that's where it would like basically indicate, take this trade because you have the uptrend, plus you have that move upwards right there. So that'd be like one win right there. And then again, same situation right here where price closes above. But obviously, stop loss would be somewhat closer or even wider depending on where you want to put it. Maybe like since we're scalping like 500 pips, like we were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, it always hits.
Yeah, it always hits. Like 500 seems like the sweet spot. Like even for here, and again right there, and then again same situation over here where we have it close above the sell signal right here. It slightly closes above it. We take the long position right here for about 500 pips, and then it hits full TP again right there. Same situation, and it's literally like a rinse and repeat. Of the same strategy back and forth. It's just that the pivots gives the extra confirmation that it's probably going to continue in that direction.
Right. I definitely love the semicircle that Mark had introduced. That's pretty awesome. I'm just trying to, figure out how to incorporate that to what I'm currently doing, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like the way that Mark identifies those semicircles is kind of similar to what I used to do before too, is where I wouldn't use the pivots, but I would just identify rejection points. So like say for example, like this entry right here, right? I would identify the structure right here where it rejected from. So I would identify that. And then I would turn the SR off to paint the chart. And then from like right here, you can kind of see that semicircle that Mark kind of looks at as well. Which tool do you guys use to draw that semicircle? Is it the path tool or is it curve? Curve. Okay, cool. So like right here, this is basically
it's the curve.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, like right there. So this is kind of like the semicircle that I would be looking for with the rejection off that point. I mean, it's kind of a weird, but you can kind of see what I mean. Like when you see the rejection point off there, and then you obviously, if you were to take that trade, it would shoot up pretty nicely.
Yeah, that's.
And then I think same situation right here. This would kind of be like if I was to take this trade over here, I would look for some sort of structure where it rejected from. Oops, wrong indicator. So like for here, it's at an all-time high, obviously, so I wouldn't have taken this because there's no structure up there. Let me see if I go on the short time frame. Yeah, I don't think there's any structure around that area. I wouldn't go off the 1 minute.
Yeah. I was once Mark showed me, I'm like, oh sweet, I'll try it off of the 1 minute or the 2, and then I started seeing Mark's like, I'm gonna beat you if you keep staying
on the 1 minute. Yeah, no, it's too hard on the 1 minute.
Yeah, bro, y'all were going off the 1 minute.
That's Sisu for you.
Yeah,
he loves the 1 minute.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find one here. So like same situation here. Okay, so perfect. Right here, like we would have this this zone up here. Let me see if I could draw that again. Yes, we had a zone up here where price rejected from. I'd go back on the 10-minute, turn that off. And then same situation again right here. You know, we have the little I guess the curve you'd call it. Right there, that semicircle coming down. And then we could probably take like a sell right here and ride this thing down to I guess TP, I guess, if it does hit. It'd probably have to be tighter. I think this is too wide. It's about 1,800 pips, maybe 1,500. Yeah, that would have hit full TP right there.
Oh.
Yeah, this is just the way that I used to do it. I would just identify the rejection point, and then if it's doing that little circle, semicircle thing, then it usually identifies it as an entry. This is one of the original ones that I used to do. So if you guys are, I mean, I don't think any of you guys were around last year, but like last year, this is the scalping strategy that I used to use for the US 30. And it worked pretty good. Let's see if anything is here. We got a couple people in the group. Hey, Vincent, how's it going? Hey, David. I don't know if David's in the actual Zoom. Adam said, will these new K2 trades be posted in the channel? Not yet, Adam. This is just for us. We're just having a brainstorming situation right here where we're just regrouping, going over our strategies. The new back tests have been running, but this isn't going to be posted on the channel. We're going to be taking this off after. It's just for a live session. Hey, so like with the strategies that you guys have been using, which one is the one that you guys were talking about? That was like a super high win rate.
So it was like it was more of a retracement.
If you look at
Go on, Mark.
go ahead, Jazz. You got it. You got it, Jazz. You can explain it.
It was for UK 100, right? I can pull up UK 100.
So it's more like a retracement. So it's a bit like the semicircle thing, but you don't really need to look for the semicircle because we're more looking for the trend. So say right there, if you just stop anywhere, and I will literally. So say we got so we got a buy come through at 6 a.m. Just after 6 a.m.
6 a.m. time, or is it your time? Let's see.
So the buy happened, and then we look for imagine the buys happened. We didn't take that signal though, but we look for the buy to carry on going up and then entering the sell signal for when it comes above the buy. So it's literally almost like the semicircle method, but we don't need to look for the semicircle because the trend has followed up and now it's looking for a retracement. And the next signal, as long as it closes above the opposite signal, we take that trade. So I'm trying to look for one, say.
So, all right. So you see it, yeah, the one right before 4 o'clock. Yeah, actually.
This buy right here.
One to the right.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, and then you see that next cell is above it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're planning on it retracing downwards. So we would take that.
You would take this.
And then you see that, and then you would take that buy right there as well because it's below it. It's going to retrace up.
Up. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you guys are basically looking for the fake outs. Is that what you guys are looking for? Like for example, right here, like we have the buy, we have the sell, and then you wait for the following one where it closes above the previous sell. And then you would take this for the long position and pretty much take that up there.
You'd look for a buy.
No, we wouldn't take the buy.
Oh, you
wait
would
for that buy to be below the
You would
sell.
take that. No.
Let's see.
So you would take the sell at 845 or 840 or whatever that is.
This one right here.
Yeah, because it's above the buy.
Yeah, because it's above it. Now, for one that you're looking for something that would help you out. All right, you see on the 7th at midnight.
Yeah,
now,
right.
You see how that buy is right. The next buy at like 3:30ish. You would take that next buy right there and hope it retraces up.
Okay, gotcha. So we would take the buy at 350, right?
Right.
So like, do you take it right when it closes, or do you take it at a later
So
time?
we would have. So to be honest, I would have placed a buy stop there, and
Oh, okay, okay. No, I see what you're saying. Okay, so you
Oh.
click buy stop right here,
yeah.
and then whenever it comes up, then you
Yeah,
go.
so we put the trade out first. Exactly. Yeah, so we got to have time to, in those cases, we put the signals out before we take them. After all that time has elapsed, that would have already retraced down quite a bit.
And we probably would have taken it. We probably would have got. I think we did try taking that one. It did close out. I think I took it and it didn't activate. One of the ones.
So do you
That
guys
was
have,
only just
like,
earlier today.
you guys have requirements for it? Maybe I can put the requirements here so it'll be easier for us to know what we're looking
Yes.
for.
So what you're looking for is if there's a buy signal, the buy signal has to close lower than the previous sell signal.
And it has to be a definitive. Like, you have to be able to see the difference. It can't be like you
It
see
can't
that
be borderline.
at
It can't be
430.
10 pips. There has to be a decent space between them in order for a retracement to take place.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
I found that if you're looking for about 30 pips roughly, sorry, not 30, it's gonna be 30 or 300. It's gonna be about 300 pips, right?
Your
Oh,
pips.
no, you're talking about 30.
30. Sorry, 30. Yeah, sorry, that's 30 pips.
Yeah,
not
30
the
pips.
0.1 is a pip.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
And I reckon between that line you're good because when I backtested it, that's what I looked at, about 30 pips. And I randomly went to a couple of weeks in September. So I randomly just chose a September month, 13 days, and I checked out the strategy for only for the first call that we used to take for UK 100. And I think we averaged about 9 wins and 4 losses. As soon as I used this strategy for the first call of the day, we went to 13 wins, 0 losses.
Okay, let me see. So I'm looking for another example here to see what would you be looking for. So like,
Yeah,
for example, right here, would this buy qualify as it?
Yes.
No.
So this one right here.
Here, let's
Yes, it would.
Okay, so let's see. So yeah, because this is about 30 pips away from that one, right? So that
Yeah.
it's about like 400 pips. So
Yeah.
right here, after
No,
this
that's
one
cool.
here, where would we
45.
put the buy stop? Because it didn't retrace down at all, or we
It
wouldn't.
retraced on the next candle, didn't
You
it?
would put it at it.
Oh, like
The
slightly.
next
Okay.
candle retraced. Only slightly. Yeah. It just
So-
depends how quick we are with the signals, obviously, because end of the day, we're just human. We've got to send it as quick as we can. But if it goes out quick enough, it goes out quick enough. But if it doesn't, then you lose out.
Yeah, because in this situation, you could have just been watching it. You could enter a market order as it comes down, then it comes back up.
Because sometimes when you see it going the right way, even if you lose out on 10 pips, you still enter, right? That's what I do anyway. If I see it going up and I know it's not coming back down, I will still enter.
Gotcha. Okay. And how do you figure out the TP stop loss?
So we checked it out to be 200 pips stop. This is what we used for the original UK 100 anyway. So we carried on with it. So 200 pips stop loss, 100 pip at break. So when it gets to 100 pips, you move to break even. And then 200 pip TP1, 400 pip TP2, 600 pip TP3.
Let me clean this up a little bit. Let's see. So we got okay, so 200 pip stop loss, 100 pip move to break even, 200 pip TP1, 400 pip TP2, right? And then 600 pip
600. So obviously, I think Mark agrees as well. The 100 pip move to break even is mainly for the people who are beginners or getting into trading and they don't really know how to watch the trades. But personally, I don't really move. When it gets to 100 pips, I don't really believe to move it to break even because I don't think there's enough space for it to breathe and get to where it needs to get to. I always wait for the 200 pips anyway. But this is what we've been sending out to all the clients.
Actually, okay, cool. So let me see this real quick.
London chat.
And what was the win rate for this? Or you back tested right quite a bit? I'm just like
It
curious.
70%
So it's averaging-
1 month and 80 the rest.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Cool. Yeah, so this probably would have hit like, half TP or something like that. You move your stop loss and profit.
Yeah.
So like when it reaches TP, do you ever move it once it reaches TP1, or is that like would you move your stop loss to TP1?
Yeah.
Or okay.
So after TP1, I think I figured out like 100 pips trading stop loss. So once in TP1, I'll be 100 pips into profit. And then if it goes above, wherever it goes above to, I'll keep 100 pip space.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, once it gets to this point, you move your stop loss and profit somewhere around there, pulls back, stopped out onto the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have got about 300 from that.
Mm.
Nice. Okay, so let me see if there's another one that we can look at here. For example,
You could try that sell right there. I mean, it looks
this
Yeah,
one
it
right
looks
here.
weird.
Taking
This
that.
one right here at 18K.
So what we found
At
was
1810
this
there,
beginning.
right? The previous one,
What time was it? Let me see. 18. Oh,
1810. It's
gotcha.
literally
Okay.
the sell right before that buy.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, so price comes up, the sell is above the buy. You wait for the retracement, you enter a sell right here. Looks like it would have slightly hit stop loss before hitting the
There was something
No, go to
particular about
100
this
pips.
day. There was something particular about this day because this was the day when the banks had pumped a lot of money into UK and the stocks were flying. So we were on a consistent uptrend in this market on this day. This was just yesterday, right?
yeah, this was yesterday on the 6th. I think the market was weird on that day. Maybe we should go
We
back.
had a constant uptrend happening on this day. So we didn't actually end up taking any of these signals because they were constantly sell signal followed by a very close buy signal, and the buy always worked. So
Yeah.
we didn't really follow the 6th of Jan as much, to be honest.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try to move this over here off. I think I deleted the requirements.
Yeah, I think it's best to just find a random day and just go for that and see what happens.
Yeah, let's go back to like somewhere in November where the market, or even December when the market wasn't moving all unusually. So if I go back to all right, so like right here, like mid-December, random time, and then we'll see how this would have played out. So like, yeah, for example, like this one right here, would this be an entry over here? Let's see.
Yes.
So this would be, right?
But now you got to sell. Yeah, that would be.
Right, so like right here, you guys would enter, so it's like far off. The sell signal is higher than the previous signal right here. And then you would enter a sell position right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we had 200 to
200, 200.
Oh, 200, 200?
Well, we do.
One,
Yeah, because we only expect it to hit TP1.
Gotcha. So yeah,
It's 200 each, not 20.
really quick, just scalp.
200 each.
So yeah, it looks
No,
like
it's
it was,
200 each.
oh,
That's
200.
20.
Okay, gotcha. There we go. So if we were to let this run, let's see. I mean, we probably would have moved stop loss and profit because it did hit, see, 100 pips.
No, it didn't. It would have went halfway as 100.
Yeah, so it looks like this one would have gotten stopped out. So we'll skip this one over here. Let's see if we can find another example where this was running. So we had the buy close below, sell close above.
And remember, we were using the 15-minute.
Oh, you guys are using the 15 minute. Okay, let me get on that then.
See, Mark, I'd done it on the 10-minute to start with, but I'm not. Yeah, if you done it on 15-minute and you got the results that you got,
Yeah, what do you think? Look, what do you think works better on 15 or the 10?
I think we still need to do.
Don't know.
I think we still need to do a good comparison between the two.
Yeah, you guys probably need to back test and just get the data to see what plays best, and then you can figure out what works better from there.
Yeah, 100%.
It just really depends on, how would it play out. Because like, for example, here, if we were to apply that, this is obviously going to be an entry right here for this one. So if you were to enter this because it was below, or no, it has to be above it, right?
Yeah, so you would have taken that one. You would have taken the next one.
We wouldn't have taken this. We would have taken, let me see.
The one that followed after that.
You would have taken that small one, the one right before it.
This one right here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I see what you mean, because it was above the other one. All right, cool.
But,
So,
but again, we're on the 6th of Jan again, where it's moving weird. But.
So if you guys were taking this, it'd be, you said 200, 200, right? So we got 200, 200 there. Yeah, this might have stopped out too. Let's see.
This is in that weird 6th of Jan sort of phase again.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry guys. Let me move it farther back to like a random time. We got one over here. All right, let me see if we can find something over here. Let's see. So this, I think this might have been too close right here. This cell.
That's a bit close, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe
Yeah, it's in the candle.
this one closes above it. Let's see if I can find one over
So you'd have taken that cell, the cell at where's it gone? At 9 p.m. ish.
9 p.m. So this one right here.
Oh, where's it gone? It's moving too much. Yeah, the just after 9 p.m. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me just rewind to there. So yeah, this one closed above that one. So that fulfills your first requirement. You would take, for your strategy, you would take a sell position right here.
Yeah.
You guys take a 200, 200. So it looks like it might have hit, or no, it
Ooh,
100 pips. Let's see.
that
So it
wakes
looks
up.
like, yeah, you would have moved it possibly to break even right here.
Yeah, so you'd have been at break even again.
Yeah, so right there, you move it to break even. And then, yeah, you get kicked out at break even, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never hit 200 pips down there. So this would be a break even trade. Break even. Let's see if we can find one more. Let's move it forward. Just see. So for this buy right here, you would take this, right?
Which buys up?
Yeah, this buy right here, this would qualify as it, right? Let me see how far is it from there. It's about like
Yeah.
600 pips. So like right
Yeah.
here, you take this buy position right there, and then you place 200, 200. So looks like this one got stopped out too. Let's see if we could find a good one. Actually, you would take the sell right here as well. So you would have stopped out on this one, and then you would have taken the sell because it's below this one right here.
No, it would have been would have had to take it above it.
Yeah, this one would be about, so this one would cover that last loss basically. Take a short position right there. I guess you do the 200, or you do the 600 to 200, I guess, just to draw that out. And from here, you guys would have taken this, and it looks like it, let's see, did it hit 200? So it hits 200 to move to TP1. Yeah, it looks like it hits 200 here, so you'd move it to TP1 to 100 pips. So you've guaranteed 100 pips, and then see if it goes farther. Yeah, so this would have been a profit for about 100 pips, I assume. Does this strategy, you guys have only tested this on UK 100?
Yeah, pretty much. No, sorry, Mark's tested it out on US 30 as well, right? Mark? You checked out the 10-minute, didn't you?
Or actually, this wouldn't be an entry.
sure.
It would have this would have to be above it, right? So this is basically opposite of my strategy, of the one that I'm using. Because for me, I want it, like, this would have been an entry for me. But for you guys, I think you'd be looking for the opposite. You want it to where it's kind of farther out.
So you look for the fake outs.
No, I look for the actual direction, because basically when price, like the way that my strategy works is I'm basically trying to catch it where momentum is shifting in the other direction. So like obviously right here, you see how momentum is swinging upwards. So like right here, this would be the point for if price crosses this structure right here, this would indicate that momentum is swinging back in the other direction this way. So I'm going in the direction of momentum, like pretty much all the other strategies work. So basically right here, it's like a small retracement. You have the sell signal that closes below. I would take the short position right here. I'll zoom out from this point, take the short position right here, and then pretty much write it to TP at that point. So if I was to let this run, I'd probably have the TP a little closer. It's too wide. I think my TP would be at the swing somewhere around here. around
Okay.
200 pips. So if I was to do that, looks like my full TP would have hit right there. So yeah, using my strategy right here, looks like this would have hit. And then we wouldn't have taken this one right here because it would have to close above this structure right here. So for this one, this buy signal would have to be above here. It didn't happen, so we don't take that trade. And then I put this one down here. So for
So
this right here,
the actual signal itself has to close above the structure.
not close, but it just needs to cross above it. So like, for example, like, let me see if I could find one. Yeah, it just
So
needs
you
to
wouldn't take
cross.
at the close of the signal. You'd wait for the next candle to close above the structure.
Exactly, yeah. So like again, right here, for example, since we have a sell signal right here, we would need price to just cross above it, above the high of the previous signal. Because like right here, this is identifying a momentum swing down. And then with the momentum swing back upwards, it's already crossed where the, where this point was. So in this point, I would anticipate it to push up further. So I'm basically just riding momentum as it swings from momentum swing to momentum swing. So right here, I would enter a long position, and then I would put the stop loss at the swing somewhere around here. It's 137. I'd probably round it to like 150. I like to give it some cushion. I use like whole numbers. And then right there, I let it run. And then, so this barely triggered stop loss and it went straight to full TP. Yeah. So in this situation right here, I mean, it's unlucky, obviously it's just an unlucky trade. And then, so this would have been a loss. This one over here, this, we wouldn't have taken the sell signal because it didn't cross below that price point. But right here, we would have taken this buy signal because it crossed above this sell signal right here. So since it crossed above it, we would take a long position right there. Our stop loss would be right here at about, let's see, 168. So I'd probably round that up to like maybe 200. Because I like using whole numbers, and then that hits full TP there. So it would have covered this loss right here. Well, this would have been 200 pips. So we'd be in profit 200 pips. We take a 150 loss. We're still in profit 50 pips. We have another 200 pip win over here. So this is another 250 pips total using the strategy here. And then again, right here, this sell would not be a valid one because price would have to close below this over here. It didn't close below, so we wouldn't have taken that trade. However, we would have taken this buy entry over here because price closed above it. So right here, as price closed above it, we can take a long position right there. We put the stop loss at the previous swing, which would be somewhere down here, maybe 250 pips. And then from that point, we pretty much let it run. And then we go full TP again. So at this point, we're in profit 500 pips for the day. Next up, we would want this sell signal to close below here. It didn't close, so we wouldn't have taken that trade. We wait for the buy signal to close above. The buy signal did not close above here, or it didn't cross above, so we would have ignored this one. Now we wait for the sell signal. It didn't close below this buy, so then we skip that. Now we're waiting for a buy signal to close above this sell right here. If price closes above it, then we would take it. If not, it didn't close above it, so we skip that one. We wait for the sell signal to cross below this price right here. And then there you go. So price closes below that point.
Yeah.
We enter the short position right here. Stop loss at previous swing, about 245, round that to 250. At this point, let it run. Let's see. So this is where, actually, no, this wouldn't fall. Because I'm still trying to figure out if like, if one trade overlaps the other, do I reverse the trade? So I still need to back this to figure out if I'm going to take that stance on it. Because if I'm following the strategy, if this was to close above this one over here, then
would you then get out and switch it?
Exactly, yeah. So it didn't close above it, so it still looks like it's a decent trade at this point. So you can keep letting it run. And this, we would take this one right here. So technically, we're still in this trade right here. It's going down to full TP. There we go, full TP. We win 250 pips off this trade. And then again, right here, there's another entry because the sell signal is right here. Close up below this buy. So at this point right here, I would take another sell.
You'd be in a double entry.
Double entry, yeah. See right there, we're double dipping into this trade right here. The swing is at about 150, so we could probably round that up to maybe 200, depending on how the market conditions are. So 200 right here. Yeah, this is a little tight. You know, we would still have to back test to figure out what's the sweet spot. Because like for me, for US 30, I understand the sweet spot already. I know it's 1500. Maybe for UK 100, we could probably figure out what's a good sweet spot too. Because it looks like it barely triggered that stop. Maybe if we put it a little wider, we could have avoided that. So maybe instead of putting it at this swing, we could put it at this swing over here, or even this swing up here. So if we were
Because
to
the value of a pip for UK 100 is higher than the US 30, so technically you can enter the same lots and put a higher. Well, you can enter a smaller lot and enter a higher stop loss, right?
exactly, yeah, definitely. So like, because normally your stop loss is 200, so it should probably be wider than 200. You know, if it's 200, that's probably too tight already as it is. So like from right here, even if it's like right at 200, maybe we'll do 200 as a threshold. That's like the very bare minimum, and then we could increase from it. So if it's like right at 200, we just round it up to maybe 250, because I think 500 might be a little too wide, right? So like for here, oh, Spencer's here. I need Spencer. There you go, Spencer. There we go. All right, cool. So what I was just saying right now, Jazz, so like right here, 200 might be the bare minimum. Maybe we should round it up to maybe 250.
I think 250 looks the move for us.
Oh, is that what it is, Spencer?
Yeah, I've been looking at it. 200 is because of the last few days. I've been looking like if we would have been at 250 instead, we would have cleared all those like really bad moments in the last few days.
Right.
They eventually went our way.
Yeah, because you guys
eventually went our way. So
it went right after. Yeah, exactly, Spencer. Yeah.
So like I think it might be the move for us. What do you think, Jazz?
I haven't checked, but mate, take your word for it, 100%. But we have.
Yeah, I've been looking at it, and I'm like, every time we've messed up, it's been like I think our stop loss almost.
Yeah.
So I'm like, 2 looks right to me, but I don't know if you guys are willing to move it up to that point. You know what I mean?
I think you guys probably give us a cushion because it's a little. It seems a little tight for the most part.
Well, here's the only concern that I have. How many trades does that actually prevent versus how many trades do we lose with that extra 50?
Well,
if that 50 only matters for 1 to 2 trades a month, it doesn't really help with the fact that we would be losing that 50 extra for every trade that we lose.
But if we look at what Shawn just showed, Shawn doesn't even go by a fixed stop loss. He goes by the structure per trade, which doesn't make sense. Not every day is the same as the previous day, right?
Yeah, it's always going to be different. You know, sometimes the structure, like this structure over here was 200. This was only 150. This was 200. This was 250. And then this was like about 200 as well. But then we rounded it up to 250. So it depends on the market's.
So if we're looking at, I think if we're looking at a fixed time, such as the morning call, right, you can go with fixed. But if you're looking at multiple trades in a day, you can't expect the same thing to happen on UK Open compared to 2 p.m. at UK, compared to 8 p.m. at UK, right? Because it's all different things are happening throughout the day.
Exactly. So if you're trading it more than once, then you can't have a fixed stop loss. You have to go by the swing because market volatility changes throughout the day. If you're trading Asian session, it kind of moves super slow, but versus trading London session where it moves very fast. So
yeah,
it's definitely gonna be a little different. So I think that might be it, guys. I think maybe for London session, you guys could have your set stop loss, maybe 200, 250. Maybe just do a bit more back testing. I'm not sure how much you guys have done already, but just back test and then document how many pips does it document to 200 to 250 and then see how many times it survives if you move it to 250. If it doesn't survive as much, like Mark was saying, then there's no point in making it wider because then you guys are just going to increase your risk. But it just really depends. Like for me with US 30, I back tested years and years of data where I found that 1500 is a sweet spot during New York session. It'd be the same difference doing it for UK. I know it's a little harder because you guys don't have that much data. I think it only goes back to May, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because before it used to go way farther. I think they limit it. Like once you get to a certain time period, you can only go back so far.
It's really weird because Shawn, remember what I was saying before? I was going way back. What was I telling Mark? I was going way back before. Last year, towards November time, I was able to push back a lot more compared
Right,
to now.
yeah, right, exactly. That's what I was saying too. I was like, that's weird that when Mark told me he could only go to May, I was like, dude, I've done UK 100 like back to the previous
Exactly.
year. Yeah, you know, I think it's just the data. It's like there's too much data, and then they just don't have it on the cloud where you can use it.
Yeah, because obviously, if you switch to the monthly or yearly, you can go back way more.
Super far, yeah, super far back.
It's just the 10 minutes and the 15,
Oh,
the
can
short
you show
time
me, like
frames.
this week, if we would have went, can you just show me this week? Or like that would be great. Like which one we lost on Tuesday, right?
Yesterday, we lost.
Which one was the wavy? We lost yesterday. Can you show me that one?
Yeah, sure. Let's go back to there. Yeah, I think for the loss that you guys had today and yesterday, it was like just at 200 pips. It was like literally.
So today, on the 10-minute time frame, they all won, but on the 15-minute time frame, they lost.
Yeah, so we're here on the 10-minute. Let me get the vertical line here real quick. So you guys took the trade right over here. So you guys took the sell, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys took the
Was that
sell.
the
Looks
sell?
like looks like your stop loss have been too tight. Let's see.
Yes, this is our morning trade, the usual morning trade.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So it just triggered a stop loss.
Yeah, that straight wicked up and caught everyone up.
Yeah. If it was a little wider, maybe 250, you could have survived it slightly before it came right back down.
And then following that, we took the buy.
Yeah. And then you guys took the buy over here, right?
Yep.
Because you guys were applying that other.
Now the other one.
Oh, this one down here, right?
No, that
Yeah,
first
I
one.
think
Oh,
that's
no.
the one.
You guys entered late. That's what happened. You guys entered late. You put your buy stop there, and then it ended up filling. down
Okay,
here.
yeah. It would have entered yep there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you
that's
could-
where it was. Yeah.
Did you guys do 200 and 600 too, or is it just 200, 200?
So the difference is, Shawn, that we entered on the 15-minute time frame.
Oh,
Signal.
for this specific strategy.
Yeah, but I was watching on the 10-minute and they hit TPs obviously, but on the 15-minute they were slightly different.
Gotcha. Let me go on the 15-minute. Oh, because you entered. Well, it's kind of similar. It's like right there. It's just off by a
Yes,
little.
just slight difference. But, yeah.
Pips. Yeah. So this looks good. You know, the thing with this, I think you guys have to change it up too when you enter, because right here that you would have entered this trade at 6 o'clock. That's when the London market closed. So the volatility starts to die down a bit.
We can't trade from 3 to 8.
Yeah, so this is still right now. Isn't it?
Yeah, because this is 3 right here, and then this was 6. This trade was between 3 and 8.
No, are you looking at your time? At your time, it would be 3 o'clock our time to noon. We can't trade from noon your time, I think.
Oh, for the spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because FTMO is locked UK out from noon
Yeah.
to 5. Your time.
Your time.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah. That's the same time as the indices market when it closes. It's just a little different for UK, I guess, like an hour difference, I'm assuming. Because for US 30, my time, it's like 1:30 to 1:30 until 4. So I'm assuming it's just an hour difference.
Yeah, for me, like at 2:30, it closes at New York time, and then we get back in at 8.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, for me personally,
TMO.
I probably wouldn't really want to trade it that late anyways into the session, because at that point you
So with-
hold it into Asian session, or it's just
So
like
with that midnight trade, if we adjusted that now, do you think people entered? They rushed it and entered too soon, whereas they should have waited for pullback because they pulled back so fast, right? On the
people, they wait for the pullback and then they try to enter after
on the 15-minute
on the 15-minute over here.
at the midnight trade, that sell signal that we entered at UK Open.
Oh yeah, it lines up the same. It lines up the same as the 10-minute right here. So if you guys took that trade, I mean, it looks like it would have barely missed. Oh no, it would have hit actually. No, it hit.
Yeah. So I think people rushed it because they saw the signal, saw the buy going up, and thought, let's enter, and then it hit stop loss, and then everyone was like, why did it hit stop loss?
Yeah, no, I noticed that with like some of you guys, because some of you guys hit stop loss, some of you guys hit TP for UK 100 last night or this morning, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't think that would have activated, would it, until it came down?
Yeah, so if you placed a sell stop, then
Yeah.
it would have not triggered yet until it came back down.
And that's why everyone was in profit, and they were asking, why are we in profit? And some of them hit stop loss. But yeah, that would have explained it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this is the strategy you guys have been using, right? It's basically just the opposite of the one that I'm using. I mean, it's not opposite, but you guys are basically catching the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it works good too. There just might need to be a bit of tweaks,
Yeah.
or just some.
So following that, we would have entered
some
the sell at 8:50-ish.
850. 850 my time.
Yeah.
Oh, this. Yeah. You would have taken this one because it. But
They
I
would have
think
entered
this
the buy
point
down there, and they would have entered this one here, which I think it went to 150-ish, then hit break even. Yeah. Well, you'd still be in it right now
Yeah, or
because FTMO is shut right now in this trade right now.
So let me go back to the requirements. When you reach 100 pips, do you move it to stop loss or to break even, right?
Yeah. So you would have closed at break even, but I think FTMO London closed, UK 100 closed before anyone could change anything.
Oh, I see it right here. Yeah, 20. Gotcha. Yeah, I like wonder if this one works better or the one that I'm already applying. Because the one that I'm applying, let's see if like we have some entries here as well. Like this would have been an entry right here because price would have actually this wouldn't. We would have skipped this one. We would have taken this one though. So we would have taken this one because price crossed above this previous signal. We take the long position here, and then just using the information that we looked at. I think 200 you said was the farthest. So if we do 200 from that point, it would have hit full TP. So that looks good. Let me see if there's another example over here. So another one right here.
Your strategy would have worked perfectly for the whole of 6th of Jan. Everyone would have probably made like freaking 2,000 pips profit.
Yeah,
it constantly just kept doing that. It constantly kept closing above.
It just keeps hitting, right? Yeah, so like 450.
The uptrend was insane yesterday.
Yeah, it looks like this one hit too, I think. Yeah, so if you guys use my strategy that I was talking about, I think it looks like, yeah, I would have hit full TP right there. Yeah, it was like easy money for this.
Hey, have we back tested using Shawn's strategy?
Yeah.
We haven't back tested using.
No, we haven't.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I'll break down the requirements here so you guys can see it's really simple. It's a no-brainer. This is the new momentum strategy. So basically you want to confirm signal crosses above previous high for a sell signal or low for a buy signal, and then enter on the open of the falling candle, and then stop loss at previous swing or 1-to-1 or R. So yeah, it's super simple. Like this is all that I'm really looking for. And then for example, let me see if we could find another one here. So like this right here, this would be a close one right here. Let me see, enter at the open of the high of the falling candle, or, so there's two different ways to do it. Open of the falling candle, or if invalid, high of the sell signal, low of the buy signal. So
if it's invalid, the high of the sell.
exactly. So I'll show you an example for that one right here, because this is where it gets kind of tricky. So like right here, oh shit, let me fix this. Where's the requirements at?
Yeah, there's quite a few invalid yesterday, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's quite a few entries here, but yeah, looking at this right here, same thing that I was just discussing. So basically, actually we wouldn't have taken this entry here because we would have to close above it. But I'll just use I'll use this as an example. So just say, for example, if this candle crossed above this one, I know it didn't right here, but just using this for an example to explain this, where it says it's invalid, the high of the sell or the low of the buy. So actually, sorry, I did that opposite. High of the buy, low of the sell. So like right here, basically, if this was to cross, then if this was above it, you would place your like buy stop above here at the high of the signal candle. And the reason for that is because since it's an invalid signal, sometimes an invalid signal will come down slightly, and then it'll eventually correct back up to where it was supposed to go. So like if we let this play out, it looks like it filled the order somewhere here. Yeah, I can hear you. And then it would have hit full TP
All
right.
So I did a little bit of back test while we were on here. It seems like yours works when it's really well when it's in an uptrend, and the reverse works really well when it's in a downtrend.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
So if you actually look at it, like it went up and then you were looking for that reverse, right? But what is the overall trend for the day?
For UK 100? So for this would have been an uptrend. So turn the pivots, and yeah, it's overall in an uptrend from here.
Right
So
now, I think UK 100 is always going to be in an uptrend because
it's always pushing up, yeah.
like crazy since December 2019. Since then, it's been trying to get back
Well, you
to
gotta
where
look where it came from. Like if you clicked off of currency.com and you went to somewhere else and you actually look where it's at, it is actually far below anywhere near the highs, because the highs are at like 7,800, 7,900.
yeah, that's the normal
8,000.
place it was at before the pandemic hit it.
Yeah, I mean, we go to random period. Like we could even go back to like somewhere last year, like maybe even the summer, just to show you guys like how it played out. Let me see. I'll back up pretty far back. Maybe right here, like randomly in October. I'll just replay at this point, and then let's see if how well it plays out here. Because I've done this for both for buys and sells, and it seems to work pretty decently. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's move forward here and see where it goes. Right here, let me see. I'll let it run forward. So we wouldn't have taken the sell signal. So we'll just run through this in order and see if we like catch any entries here. We would need this buy signal to close above this or cross above this line for us to take that entry. So it didn't cross above it. We're skipping that one. It didn't cross below this one. We're skipping that one as well. So let's see. Right here, we're skipping this one because it didn't cross above it. We're waiting for this one over here. Skipping this one because it didn't close below it. So like basically, we're just waiting for the signal to confirm the reversal from it. So right here, we're looking for a sell now. And there we go. We finally got the sell, right? So we got the sell right there. We enter a short position right here. Swing would be somewhere above here, 250, 250, 250. We let this run right there. There we go, full TP. So we got a full TP right there for 250 pips. Now we can wait for the next one. So again, right here, we wouldn't have taken this buy signal because it didn't cross above here. We wouldn't have taken this sell signal because it didn't cross below here. And then now we're waiting for this buy signal in the opposite direction right here to close above here. So let's see. Not necessarily close, but just cross above it. So right here, it does cross above it. We enter this long position right here. The swing would be somewhere down here, about 200 pips. We let it run. And this, yeah, so this right here would have gotten stopped out for 200 pips. And then the next one over here,
That was news.
Oh, and this was news, right?
That was the damn Trump news.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Backing
remember
out
that.
of the stimulus.
Oh, yeah, yeah, on the 21st. Yeah, no, I get you. So we probably would have skipped all these trades right here actually on this day. This is probably a bad day for us to do the testing, because we probably would have avoided this. This is something that we have to keep in mind too, because like obviously this move right here is not a normal move. It doesn't drop like 1,000 pips in like a few seconds. So let's just run it forward real quick and then see if we get to like smooth markets. But like even right here, if we were to take this trade, because this closed below, or this didn't close below, this didn't close above, but this closed it below right here. So we could have taken this.
But to be honest, even during the news, if you carried on your method and you got stopped at 200
we would have taken
on the 21st and you took that sell, you still would have been 800 pips in profit.
Exactly, yeah, because right here we take a loss, we take a win for 250. Right here we take a loss for 200. Right here we take a win for 400 pips. Obviously, yeah, this is
more than 400. I guarantee you that.
Well, yeah, we would have taken off the
Yeah, you'd have been trading your stop loss.
Exactly, just moving the stop loss. And then right here, we would have avoided this because it didn't close above. Right here, we would have avoided this because it didn't close below. Right here, we would take this trade because it closed below this previous buy. The swing would probably be somewhere around here, I guess. So I guess like 350. So that would have been straight to full TP right there. So we'd be in profit pretty heavily now because we have 250 plus 400. That's 650 plus another 350. That's 1,000, right? So we're up 1,000 pips, subtract 200. We're still up 800 pips for these trades right here. And then again, same situation over here. This sell didn't close below this buy, so we'd avoid it. This buy didn't close above the sell, so we'd avoid it. However, this sell right here closed below it, so we probably would have taken this. And then the swing would be somewhere around here, around 250, I assume. Yeah, about 250, or we could even round it up to have some cushion there, 300. So if we were to take this trade right here, so this is where that thing that I was talking about earlier, Jazz, remember where I said like we would have to figure out whether if it has another following signal in the opposite direction if we switch over. So like right here, we could let this run, see if it plays out, and it ends up playing out. So maybe in some situations we probably shouldn't second guess our trade, right?
Yeah. If you're in it, you're in it to the 200, or you're in it for the SL or the profit, right?
Exactly. Or even here, we can probably take multiple positions. You know, we could take one for the sell here. We let this run, and then we have another buy right here. We have another buy from this one right here, and this obviously would be a stop. So we could just eat the loss off that one.
Yeah.
So like that's going to be probably like 200 pips. So we take the win for 300. We take the loss here for 200. We're still up 100. And then after that, we have another one right here where it closes below this buy signal. Like I mentioned, if it's invalid, you put it at the low of the buy signal, or the high of. Actually, I had this right earlier. I changed it up again.
That really confuses me. That high of the sell signal and low.
Oh no, that's right. That's correct. Yeah, because low of the sell signal. That's because this is a sell signal. So like I mentioned, if it's an invalid signal, generally sometimes it will retrace up a little bit where it goes up and then it ends up coming right back down. So like right here, we would have had another entry right here for a sell at this point right there. The swing would probably be right here. Probably round that up to maybe like 300, I assume. And then we let it run from there. It looks like it hits full TP. So we could actually do that where we take every single entry because we have a win here for 300. We have a loss for 200 and then another win for 300 right here. So just taking these trades right here, we'd be heavily in profit, right? If you take every single trade, because for example, here we have, so we have 250, we have plus 250, we have minus 200, have plus 400, we have plus 350, we have plus 300, so we'll just do plus 600. Oops, plus 600. Oh no, so 800 plus 600. So we have a total of 1,400 pips in profit. One's lost right here for 200. So just from those specific trades, we'd have a net profit of 1,200 pips. So, you know, obviously if you're trading a standard lot, like on a standard lot on FTMO, or like a 10 lot, you probably would have locked in like 1,200. Or no, actually not, you'd lock in more, right?
No, you'd have passed.
yeah.
You'd have passed your FTMO 10%ers.
12,000, right? Yeah, you make 12,000 off that trade.
No, you would have made
A little bit more,
15.
because you got to multiply that by 1.25 after that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's changed now.
So
It
yeah,
was one.
most-
That's increased.
1.5. So you make 1,800 off this.
15,000.
15,000.
Yeah, 18,000.
that's the number.
15,000. So check this out. So you got, what was it? 1,200?
1,200, yeah.
Now times 10,
1,200 pips.
because a 10 on FTMO is a standard lot. Now times 1.25.
Times 1.25.
Yep.
Yeah, so you have 15,000. So if
That's right.
you took every trade from the 20th to the 25th, you're going to pass your FTMO off to that.
Now you might want to divide that by 2, because we trying to do 5.00 lot.
Gotcha. So it's will be 7,500. Not bad at all.
I'm trying to play it safe.
Sorry, did you guys say something? I think someone said like kind of
It's cracking up a bit. But yeah, we halved it just because we're trying to play it safe.
It's like once you're there's a better feeling than going all in with 10.
Sorry, guys. You guys are good. I'm not sure if one person's speaker is messed up or is it just mine.
Yeah, Spencer, you're really crackly.
Really?
Yeah. Oh no, Spencer. I think for your speaker, I think you might be too close to your microphone. So it's here, let me mute you. All right, can you guys can hear me, right? Yeah, Spencer.
Yeah.
I think your speaker is too close to your speaker is too close to your mic, or it's just the feedback
You're echoing through it.
echoing. Yeah, exactly. Let's see if Spencer could probably fix that.
Is
Let's see all.
he gone?
No, he's still here. He's just muted.
Oh, okay.
I muted him, so I think yeah, he's too close to the mic, so it's you might need like an external mic or something. If you have like AirPods or something you can put on where you're not too close to the
It's
screen.
my internet. I'm satellite internet.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
So basically, me and Mark halved the lot sizes because, to be honest, you can't. If you followed this and you went for the full lots that obviously you go by, you can't pass your FTMO in one day. But just to be safe, you halved it. So maybe you might pass your FTMO in a week instead. But you're still good, right? Because you could take a few more hits if you have to.
Yeah, I mean, you could if you're on your last day of FTMO, yeah, I guess you can go all out. Right?
Yeah, oh,
You can
100%. If you're in the last 24 hours, I done that on my first FTMO. I was in the last day and I literally completed it by like £1.
Nice. I've done that before, like with my my last FTMO. I forgot about it because it was like during the holidays, and I just went crazy scalping, and I ended up getting like 12,000 in one day. I ended up passing it within 24 hours. I got so lucky.
My little brother bought one, the 70K one, and he bought it on the 10th of December. He placed his first trade on the 20th of December, and then he didn't trade it again, and he forgot about it. He just gave it to me, and he was like, "Bro, can you sort this out, please? Because it ends in the next 10 days. It's done." Ahead of me.
Oh man, yeah. Well, it's crazy here. You know, we've seen what's possible.
All
Like
right,
we took every trade here, and
Exactly.
it worked out perfectly. Let's see if there's any other ones here that we can probably look at real quick.
So I'm cool with it. I just don't want to go over 300.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. You definitely
Let's
don't
just
want
make
to.
sure we don't go over 300 pips.
So 300 would be your max for that one.
Oh yeah, because the only issue you'd have is obviously if we're doing this during the day before New York Open, and you hit a loss, you can't really
You can't
trade
trade
again.
Yeah, exactly. So like for right here, we could probably put like I guess 300 on this one. See if it plays out. No, this one would have gotten stopped out. I think our stop loss should have been closer on this one actually, because this swing is way too far out. So this is, I think, one thing that we have to look out for too is when the market is consolidating. So like I think when the market's consolidating like it is right here, we would probably just skip it because it's like just not moving at all. Or maybe just skip it, like only trade it during certain sessions. Because I noticed during Asia session, dude, I run into so many losses. I'm like, fuck, because the market is so, it's just going sideways the whole time.
Yeah, it still don't have any momentum to it.
Well, we only usually do New York and London, and that's probably Suzuki. Another reason he's saying it's volatile is because it is literally volatile all the way through London and all the way through New York.
Exactly. No, I agree. Because like right here, this is the only time where we had some losses was like during Asia session, right here at 15. And then again, right here during Asia session as well. If we just took it during London, full TP, New York, full TP, and then we just skip these two right here. I mean, obviously, you know, we'll like skip some trades, but I prefer to have more accuracy than, you know, taking every single trade. And then,
Yeah, so what we could probably do is trade from 3 a.m. to and then last trade at I would say around noon, 1 o'clock, because FTML closes at 3 for us, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and it opens back up at 8. So we'll probably stop trading around 1 o'clock, and that leave you 2 hours. And usually it don't take that long, but 2 hours, just trading from 3 to 1, that should be our staple. That'll be like midnight to what the hell is that?
midnight to about, I think lunchtime, my time, so like noon, right?
Actually, it'd be more like 10 o'clock. 10
Okay.
a.m.
Slightly before it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks like it works pretty fine. I don't know if it would work better on a different time frame. Maybe it would work better on the 15. I don't know. I haven't really tested as much, but I mean, overall, it looks pretty decent. Like right here as well, we have this buy signal that closes above this one. Long position here. This happened at 3 a.m. So that's London time. We could probably round this over to 250. And then if we were to let this run, looks like it hits full TP right there. It's pretty nice. And then again, right here, we have another entry. So full TP there for 250. This one right here, we would ignore this because it isn't closed below this buy. This buy over here closes above this this sell right here though. So we would take a long position right there. I think you said the max was 300, right? So we'll do like max 300 stop loss. And then does it hit? Let's see. It's like this thing goes on forever. It ends up hitting eventually. 300 pips right there. Let's see this one over here. Sorry, fix that. So that one would hit full TP. We would ignore this one. Didn't close below. Had a buy signal right here. This would have filled like way down here though. So like we'd have a buy stop right here.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
If we take out the Asia session, it hasn't lost yet.
The Asia session. Oh yeah, if we take that out, then we'd be straight wins for UK 100.
Yeah, Asia session is where I lose all my money, so we should skip that.
I agree. Same here. That's why I usually.
Who the hell was that?
Yeah, I usually don't trade because it happens all the time. It's like it's horrible. Like this would have hit full TP. I think this would have hit full TP too. Yeah, it would have. Our swing would have been down here, so it'd be max 300 again. Max 300.
Luckily for me, I'm asleep during Asia session, so I'm all right.
Sleep. I got to start getting on your guys' schedule. I'm gonna be on the London schedule. Yeah, so this would have hit full TP right there, another 300 pips. And then I think at this point, enters Asia session. So we skip these right here. Looks like they're straight wins, guys, back to back to back. If we just skip Asia session.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and then again right here. So we enter London session right here. Actually, yeah, this midnight. So you would have taken this buy signal here as well because it
You're not
closes
in this-
closes above this one right here. Long position right there. I think it's about a max.
You're not in December, are you?
No, I think this is still October. Let me check. This is October 23rd.
Yeah, as in this works, but the only issue is if you're working on a daily basis, trying to catch all these signals is pretty difficult.
Yeah, unless you're scalping during just your own session, then it would
Yeah.
be. It seems like it would work pretty fine. I mean, even maybe if you wanted to trade Asia session, let's check the Nisei because I've never traded that myself, but that's actually volatile during Asia session. So let's see. We have the Nisei right here, JPY 225. If I go back to like a random time again, maybe go back to like November or maybe even early December. We just go back to a random time over here and maybe we just trade this during Asia session. So if we go forward here, Asia session opens right here. All right, so this is Asia session right here. We would have skipped this one here and put the requirements back there. Let's see if we have a buy signal. We have a buy signal there, but we would have ignored that one. It didn't close above this sell. We would ignore this one. It didn't close below this buy. Ignore this one. It didn't close above this sell. And then we're back into London session. So maybe keep going further to the next day if possible. And then here we are back in Asia session. Yeah, unless we should just skip Asia session altogether because it doesn't really look like
There's much.
there's not really much because we literally go from Asia session here all the way to London. Still no interest. Asia session is just bad session overall, I feel. I guess this could possibly fill as an entry because it closed above the structure here, closed below above this high. And then I don't know, let's see if it actually plays out. Maybe 550 pips. I've never traded this, so I don't know what the pips are like for this specific one. But if we were to let it run, see if it ends up. Yeah, this looks like it looks too choppy. You know, it doesn't really look like it has any anything worth taking. Let me go to the next.
It's just touched.
Yeah,
If you left a bit of cushion on that one, it would have hit.
exactly. Yeah, we'd have to really figure out what's the good time.
But that was literally one trade out of the whole of the Asian session. Like,
exactly. There's like no entry, so it's kind of no point because you're just waiting.
I definitely think twice before spending a whole night awake just for that one trade.
Oh, you know what? We should look at the AUS, the Australian index. That's probably better
Oh yeah.
because I've seen people trade that during Asia session. It works good. So we go here to the Aussie 200. We could go over to. So here. All right, let's go back to random time again, somewhere in the middle of November. So we're here middle of November. Just put this down somewhere. I'll go like middle, closer to the middle. So here the Aussie, because I know the Aussie moves a lot smoother than other pairs, even other indexes. I don't know if you guys have tried trading it before. So here we are in the Aussie session. All right, here's the first entry right here. Let's see if it works. Sell signal right there. I don't know what the max should be. I guess we'd use 300 on here as well. Using this on there. Looks like it actually plays out pretty nice. Full TP right there, 300 pips. Next one. This one would have been a loss. Oh no. Oh yeah, it would have been a loss. This would have been a loss right here. Long position. 200 pips. So we had one win for 300, one loss for 200. We're still in profit slightly. The next one right here, this sell, we would have taken it because it closed below the previous signal. This is another, let's see, 300 pips. So 2 wins right there. 300, 300 minus 200. It's 400 pips in profit. We would skip this buy right here because it didn't close above the sell. We would take this sell right here because it closes below the buy. Swings right here, round that to 200. So another win there. So it looks like it actually works pretty decent on the Aussie right here. We have 1, 2, 3 wins, 1 loss, a partial loss, still being profit about 600 pips. We would have taken this one right here, I believe. Yeah, it's still during Asia session. So this would have been another buy right here at the high. Since it, oh no, actually we would have skipped that one. It's not above the sell signal right there. That one, we would take this if we were to trade into London session. Right there. 200. Looks like this might have hit stop loss unless we put it lower. See if it plays out. No, still would have hit. So this would have been a stop loss for about 200 pips. So this is probably something that we'd have to back test even further because it looks like this works during Asia session, but as we enter in session right here, it doesn't work as well as it was using previously. Or I don't know, it kind of does actually. It goes over here to Asia, US session. This closes below this buy. Take a long short position right here. Place the stop loss at the previous swing. Around there, 300. This looks like it, yeah, it hits full TP right there. So overall, it'd still be heavily in profit. So we have how many wins here? We have 300, 300, 200. So we got 300 times 3 plus 200, 300 times 3 plus 200 pips to a total of 1,100 pips. We have 2 losses here for 200 each. That's 400 loss. Still overall a net profit of 700 pips for the Aussie 200 here. Skip that one. We take the sell right here. Swings right there. About 250, rounding it up. Does this hit? No, so it doesn't. I think we might have to figure out some sort of an exit strategy to use for this. Unless, like, I don't know, what would you guys prefer if we just let it run to full TP? Because it looks like if we let it run to full TP, most of the time it does hit. So maybe we can just eat these losses, or maybe if it reaches half TP, you can probably move your stop loss and profit or something like that.
Yeah, I think if you're trading daily like this, you would definitely half your usual lot sizes at least. Because you're taking a lot more trades in a day.
Exactly, yeah. So this would have been a loss, I assume, 250, unless we had the target a little closer.
Unless you have the full TP as what you got, and then say you half that and call it TP1, half the full TP every time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, like maybe if it reaches halfway to TP, maybe you adjust your stop loss, or I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to do it.
I wonder if you can do trailing stop loss at half TP.
You probably could. You could probably program your MC4 to do that. I don't know how to do it, but I know there's probably some bots that you can do it with. I just don't know.
John is a trading stop loss king.
Yeah, because I know there's ways to program it, but I'm not familiar. Well, I don't know how to do it myself.
Well, I have an EA that does that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've seen EAs that do it, but I personally don't know how to do it. So you could probably do that, John, if you wanted to. Like even right here, this closed above it. So if we take a long position right here, for about let's see, 200 pips. Let's see how far does it go. So it goes up to half TP right there. If you were to put your stop loss, I don't know, trail it with it. and let it run. It looks like it might have triggered the stop loss if it was moving too close, or if you just let it run, it would have hit full TP. I think it might have been better to just let him hit stop loss or let it hit full TP. Because overall, it looks like if you just let them run,
Yeah.
I mean, it'll balance itself out. Like you'll eat this loss here for 250, but the previous trade you made 300 plus this one 500 total. So it's 500 minus 250. You're still 250 in profit. So yeah, I think, yeah, we definitely just have to back test this more, figure out what it works on best. And then maybe back test your guys's, or like the one that Mark's been using, to see what works best on that too. Because I know Mark said that it works better on sell entries. So if that's the case, we can probably, work towards that. And then I can keep working towards this, because this is something that really interests me, because after seeing all these wins here, it looks pretty lucrative.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you're picking a random day and just trying it out. If you
Yeah.
just spend a day, even if you spend one day on your FTMO just doing this properly, you'd win.
Yeah, you could like easily pass your FTMO. I mean, if you're like on your last day of FTMO and you really need to pass, I guess you can use this. It's a very risky strategy, but it looks like it works pretty well if it's done properly. Again, right here, we have a long position during London session right here. Stop loss about 200. Wow, look at that, full TP, very easily.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, we're just back testing this on like a random day. It looks like it works pretty well overall, because we definitely outweigh the wins with losses for sure.
Definitely.
See this right here. This will close below. Stop loss about 200. I'd put. I think we'd have to figure out we'd have to understand if there's news at that time too. Because like right here, I don't know if there was news going. I know during November it was kind of weird as well, because we had the holidays plus we had the election for the U.S. And I remember Australia went back into lockdown around this time too. So I mean, there's a lot of different factors that could factor in.
This whole pandemic phase is difficult to access properly.
Exactly. It's hard to backtest during COVID because we have these random spikes in price all the time.
Yeah, so much is happening in order to help our economy survive this pandemic that it's just so difficult to have a real backtest right now.
Exactly. Or if we just skip Asia session in general. But I mean, this looks pretty decent. The
That
Aussie.
was pretty decent during Asian session. Like,
Yeah. Like if we get bored, I guess we could look during Asia session.
but then for me, that would literally be when it's bedtime and I want to trade.
Yeah, you have the perfect schedule, Jazz. I'm jealous.
Trust, yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's it, guys. I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to cover right now? Because I have another session at 5, so I'm gonna have to get off soon. If you guys want to keep this going, I mean, you guys can, but I have to go
Yeah,
off.
no, it's approaching 1 a.m. my time, so I'll go work
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. So yeah, definitely. So I mean, you guys got the basic gist of how the strategy works. So what we'll do is we'll probably keep testing it. You guys test yours, I'll test mine, and then we'll probably link up again maybe next week. We could probably do this as a weekly thing where we can, just get together and just brainstorm, because there's a lot of potential, especially with the K2 indicators. Like you guys have figured out so many things that work that I never even thought of before. Like you guys thought of the opposite of my strategy, and I would have never thought of that, and it works for you guys. So like maybe we can set up a weekly time or even monthly just to get together and discuss.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think I'll take some time on the weekend to actually log this properly in an Excel spreadsheet. And
Yeah, same here. I think we have to put the data together because we're talking about it a lot, but we need to see that number so we can see what actually works and what doesn't.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna log off right now. We'll talk back in the chat, and then we'll figure out another day or time that we can possibly get together and go over our findings again.
Brilliant. Yeah, it works.
All right, guys. It was good talking to you guys. I'll catch you guys later, maybe in the live session tomorrow if you guys are on. I'll be on tomorrow, probably in the morning.
Cool, Shawn. Cheers.
All right, guys. See you later.